Tail of Harry Russell to try and get one of those best runners-up spots if he can't catch the Sheffield man who's looking to book his place in tomorrow's final. One last kick from Adam Wright, but he's not going to get there. Harry Russell is going to take the semi-final.
This is just a little insight vlog into my Saturday morning routine for a hill session. The majority of my training would usually be in the evening after work, but I've enjoyed recently more and more getting out early doors and getting a good quality session in before a chilled one back on the sofa. For morning sessions I tend not to eat that much, so I usually just have a coffee or a banana, or in this case a porridge cereal bar. The most important part of my morning ritual before Saturday training is to make sure I get that fantasy team completed and submitted. The only thing worse for the Saturday hill session is the realisation you haven't submitted your team and taken that L. So my weapons of choice for today, considering the weather, are just sort of the Clifton Edge Hockers. Probably one of my favourite shoes of last year. Used them mainly for my steady runs and just sort of slow warm-ups. And as the weather's so bad at the moment, just better be safe than sorry. And standard Zoom Rival cross-country spikes. Using a lot for grass sessions at the moment, especially in the current lockdown. I find they have quite a lot of support, so they work quite well for me. This week was a bit of a recovery week for me. Usually would be doing indoors, but not this year, so less reps than we'd usually do. But sort of keeping the same pace. Our group's a lot more speed orientated, so a lot of sprinters, 4-2 guys, and a couple of us 8 guys and gals. So it's pretty hard to film in the conditions today with the snow, ice and lots of people tobogganing. The session, as I said, is a little shorter than it usually is, but with the 4 short sprints, just to warm up and get the legs going, and then 6 minutes recovery, and then into 5 sets of extra longs, so 40 seconds-ish of 2.5 minutes. And then straight into 5 sets of long, which about 30 seconds or slightly quicker off 2 minutes recovery. We find this works well, as you've seen with Alfie's vlogs. Sheffield's pretty hilly, so sort of keeping that speed endurance, that quick power, especially for sort of 8-4 guys, and rather than going too endurance-y, has supplemented my training quite well in the last few years. I've certainly got better at them. It's also one of the only sessions that we can still regularly do on my own in the current lockdown, with tracks being shut. So the hills are a bit undulating, especially on the extra longs. They start off quite steep, then level off a little bit, and then the gradient increases again towards the end. So it really helps sort of with that speed and power you need for especially the last sort of 100 metres of the 800. Recoveries offer enough time for a jog back down to the start, so it's pretty relentless. And by the time you get to the longs, you're really working that aerobic system. But the reps are short enough also to retain that speed. That is often neglected during winter. The reward for getting out early doors and doing the session is a cook breakfast, and in the afternoon watching the football. I suppose that's what they call recovery. Hope that was helpful and insightful, and hopefully you can do a couple more with better footage when regulations change and can get someone else to film.
She's usually the one who does the playing. Wonders if I'm out with a man that I'm misbehaving. She ain't the cycle type, but you know what I be saying. You saying that you love me, I don't know if it's true. All these clowns all on your body, girl, I see you, I do. I know you see me and you question everything that I do. I know you're heartbroken, I can tell by the song that you move. She's a heartbreak girl and I'm the heartbreak kid. But I'm not trying to break her heart because I know she's legit. When I show my first shot, yeah, well maybe I miss. Funny how you're back around and guess you see what it is.
Robin!
616, Matthew Williams, Cambridgeshire, PBS 151.
Let's go, Jack!
Coming through strongly, Harry Russell from Newbury.
Come on, Ben!
Making a big move as well, Declan Neary, City of York. So great racing.